Well, what a terrific wait to turn out. Massive amounts of planning, dubious time and intrusive thoughts of infinite ideas and stupid, confusing things I've thought of to build on here. It has been. Finally, welcome to the first official episode on ChaosCRAFT SMP. About 10 to 11 other people on here. It's going to be amazing. Again, like I said, infinite ideas, infinite intrusive thoughts, just utter confusion. No clear building theme, but I want to go with a bit of like secrecy, bit confusion, contrasting themes, a load of different stuff. And the best part is we're in a desert. Now, I have never been in a desert surviving before, so this is going to be quite an interesting one. And as you can see, there are already people chatting on here as well. So this is going to be pretty damn fun. We're going to have some ridiculous conversations. We're going to set up some pretty weird shops, probably some weird mini games. There's going to be some weird shenanigans, some lore, some history, and we're just going to go all out. I'm going to let loose on here. On ShadowCraft, I'm a lot more reserved with my buildings and everything, but over here, I can just go wild and wacky as much as I want. First of all, we grab some cactus, because I'm going to want to set up a cactus farm. The thing is, everybody else kind of ventured off into their own sort of different biomes. People went to the plains, the jungle, which is nearby. There's a mesa near where I want to set up my base as well. But we're going to stick here. And I'm going to build one of the most insane starter bases ever. It's going to be stupidly ridiculous. Most people probably wouldn't see it as a mega... Well, we've just kind of ruined it there. Most people wouldn't really see it as a starter base. It's more of like a mega base, but as a starter base. It's stupid, it's confusing, it's contrasting, it's everything I'm for on this SMP, and it's quite literally called ChaosCRAFT. Also, I'm playing in a new version, which is crazy as well. The first time I've ever been in this new version of Minecraft, which is kind of weird. All the flowers look different. We've got these leaves now. Obviously, I watched the Minecraft Live, did a little reaction to it, but yeah, it's crazy and I absolutely love it. We've got new animal types, not new meats, to be fair, but the new animal types, adding something to classic Minecraft mobs, it just changes the game so much and it feels so nostalgic and influential, especially with the Minecraft movie that's just come out as well. Anyway, get back to the point. What I wanted to do to start off was to gather just stuff for farms. I wanted to build some massive, and I mean truly massive farms, except they were going to be manual. So I just went out and gathered as much sugarcane as I possibly could, along with cactus and some other couple bits along the way. As you can see, cactus actually have flowers now, and there's a possibility we might be able to set up some sort of botany shop in the future. I also probably want to sell like redstone and maybe wood as well. And the thing is, people can claim shops to sell stuff. You can't do the same shop as someone else, or you can do like a collaboration or be the primary sort of source for someone else's shop if they wanted to sell that and then give half the profits back to you. I also luckily found a village at this point. Now these things here, these wells, they are signifiers for clear and close by villages. And to be honest, there was one just across the ridge over there, which was pretty damn cool. So yes, I collected a dubious amount of sugarcane, as you can see, just kept going with that. Now, one thing I should mention that I ran into quite a bit on here while playing this first little bit is the fact that there is a tiny bit of lag on the server. And this may be because I'm playing on mobile. Yes, I know, not the best way to be doing this, but it's the only way I can join the SMP for some odd reason. And it can affect streams and video and also just interaction a bit every now and then. I found myself frozen at certain points, but it should be absolutely fine because it just adds to the name. The Chaos SMP. It's a perfect bit and I'm going to enjoy it so much. One thing I probably should say is that all of this was originally streamed over at twitch.tv/ShadowDragon58, which is where we're going to primarily be doing said episodes. Long form content means I can get more stuff done without too much editing going on. And then they're all going to get put over here, either like this or as straight up VODs, depending on the sound quality and how much needs to be cut out or kept in. But as episode 0, and that's where we're starting with this, episode 0, that's what this is, I thought we'd just cut it in, try experiment a bit, maybe with just a bit of narration, a bit of voiceover, a bit of stuff like that. And as you can see here, we essentially went to the village. Now, this is a sand village, a desert village, and as I said, I've never really survived in the desert before, so I didn't really know what to do. So I found myself a tower and started essentially making it my own place. Now, an idea I had here, which was quite controversial, I guess in a way, was to use appliances as the layers for the floors and actually have some glass at the top so actually light down so I wouldn't be using torches. And what I mean by utilities is chests and furnaces. Instead of having to put floor layers on, I would rather just have chests going up the tower, which will be my storage system, and the floors for the things, with the stuff I was putting in them on the thing I'm standing below. But I could then reach them from any level. Now, the other thing was, I wanted to turn this village essentially into its own sort of grassland. If nobody knows what a biodome is, it's essentially this sort of glass structure that has grass and plants underneath it, a bit like the Eden Project, and that's essentially what I was going to do with the village. Now, while going ahead and doing this, I actually met up with Willalder, who's the sibling of the sub-owner, Willalder, who is the owner of the Chaos SMP. I would check out the channel, they do some pretty good stuff. They're also on Twitch as well as Ember Live, and I had a chat with Will. Yes, as I said before, I am on mobile, so every time I have to type, I have to pause the game and type like this. But the best part is, because I have a microphone, I can pretty much just speak right into my phone and it will type out what I'm saying. Well, most of the time, sometimes there's a bit of autocorrect, and sometimes the words don't come out quite so effectively. I was just asking if I could borrow the pumpkins, because as I said, I'm going to be starting some truly humongous, and I mean fucking monolithic farms. And pumpkins is a part of them. Yeah, as you saw, black. I also started up a little wheat farm here and there, and as I said, biodome. Most of the village is going to be grass, however some bits are going to be a bit more decorated, and we also need wheat, because I'm going to take some of the villagers from this village and actually make a trading hall. Now, for anyone that's watched my solo survival series, ChaosCRAFT, you'll know that I have this ultimate trading hall with every villager from every profession at the highest trade from the lowest prices. It's essentially what I'm going to go ahead and do on here, except this time I actually want to build my own artificial village, in that I go into the desert somewhere, build up all these like amazing houses, put the villagers in them, and then sort out their trades. And I will get them from here, because I'm going to set up like a breeding hall just here. Now, with that trading village place as well, we're also essentially going to have set up an iron farm. Iron golems are going to be roaming around the place, because there's going to be more than fucking 20 villages. It's going to be about 180. And because of that, I can just jump in, swipe the iron golems every now and then. But to procure the villagers, I put them on the ground with some torches and no zombies spawned, and the best part about this is it started attracting husks. Now, here brings me onto another point. The only problem with living in a fucking desert is the fact that you get husks. The one zombie that cannot burn in sunlight, they don't even need armor. Now, all the other mobbies, yeah, they go. The creepers, a bit annoying, but you don't get as many. But the husks, my god, they are stupidly annoying. Also, the baby ones as well. The fact that they can live in daylight is mad. Which is why we constantly on the server try to keep each other's backs by going to bed at the right times. Now, as I mentioned, the biodome sort of project idea. The only problem is, right, I don't have Silk Touch at the very start of the game. I did set up a fishing thing later, but yeah, no Silk Touch, right? So what I was actually planning to do was spread dirt from nearby grassland via some normal dirt over to the village. And what I also noticed about this village is something quite peculiar. If we just stare over in this direction. Now, I was going to make a joke, but it's a bit sensitive. And it's probably not the best idea for this kind of SMP. I think you all know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Just going to leave it there. And maybe just stare a bit more. But anyway, yeah, like I said, we needed a lot of dirt for the village to A, fill out the floor. Cody, you hopped on as well, another member. And we were going to need to spread grass the village, turn it into essentially this biodome. Instead, though, of putting glass over the top, I was just going to put towers around the outside of this village. And then I had another interaction with Will, because he was quite curious about what I was doing exactly with the grass. He gave me an iron shovel, told me my dirt, I gave him some sugarcane, which he didn't pick up. And yes, as I explained, I was trying to get the dirt to the village. Now, what I ended up doing is actually surrounding the place in a layer of dirt, which I was going to slowly fill in by taking out the sand block by block by block, so we get an actual accurate thing. Yellow Gecko hopped on as well, and they're actually the one who invited me onto the original Solar Escator SMP, which then led over to here. So I'm actually very, very thankful to Gecko and actually M as well for inviting me on. So I just want to say massive thanks to them if they see this. We actually managed to get some bread as well because of the wheat farm that we'd set up. And you know what? The grass was actually going well. It was actually spreading, not entirely in the direction that I wanted it to go. For some reason, it started spreading to the dirt over to the left side instead of towards the village, which was a tiny bit annoying. However, with some time and progression, it did start spreading towards us, which was super duper handy because, well, it's exactly what we needed. Now, this is the point where I had the ideas for my mega/starter base, except it was just a starter base, but stupidly big and stupidly irregulated, I guess you could say. I wanted to build a massive 4-dimensional cube shape, which is stupidly big, about 255 by 255 blocks, all out of sandstone. And because I'm in a desert, I didn't really have to look too far for it. I also did go to Will's house just to drop off that sugarcane because he didn't quite pick it up. Something I will say real quick is Will actually ended up taking down and rebuilding this house 3 times while he was here, and then he ended up moving his house way out off into the jungle about thousands of blocks away after seeing the cube, and then built it another 3 times over. But yeah, hope you had fun. We'll see you all soon.